Hey guys, I was reading my Bible earlier this morning, and I read upon this, the Old Testament Illustrated. So I read this a few times, and I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to share my thought process and everything. I got stutter sometimes, I can't get the words out, I can, I got a stutter sometimes, and I can't pronounce some words right, so just bear with me. The Old Testament Illustrated. Out of God's measureless love flows a plan to bring sinful man to forgiving fellowship with himself. This design of God was born of infinite concern, nourished, and providential care. Our first parents, Adam and Eve, decided, as we do, and he's not talking about me and you, he's talking about all of humanity here, as we all do, to live their lives away from the will of God, tempted by Satan. They yielded to sin and lost their eternal birthright. When sin invaded the human race, God's plan to redeem man was set in motion. The Old Testament shows varied examples of God and His holiness seeking sinful man. God first acted through Abraham's seed. Israel is His chosen people, and they were the custodians of His word and redemption. From this people, the Messiah was born. And now it's this part I want you to pay attention about. You know what? A picture of this is going to be on screen. The Old Testament is not always an encouraging story. It tells of the rebellion of God's people. It shows open and willful sins in the face of a long-suffering God. But the Old Testament is salvation in process. There we go. Now what does all of that mean? For me, some parts of the Old Testament was bad. Some of it was outrageous. Some of it was out of hand, like being stoned to death because you were gay or whatever, because you filled with homosexuality, and sacrificing animals every time you sin. And it was temporary. It was like a Band-Aid. You got a cut, you put a Band-Aid on it. The Band-Aid is the sacrifice. The cut is the sin, and once the Band-Aid comes off, your sin is revealed. That's basically what it is. And here's what I think the Old Testament is like. I think some of it was bad, but I feel like it's like living in a strict household. Yes, you got parents who loves you, who cares about you, who at times will give you what you want, who will give you what you need, but they will put you to work. They will let you work. They will put you through tests, hard tests, at that, hard, very hard tests. They will ask you to do this and that and this and that. They will yell at you. They will get mad at you. But at the end of the day, they'll still love you. And that parent is God, and we are the children. No matter what age you are a child of God. And it says it in here. And it says in here for the careness or whatever. This design of God was born of infinite concern and nourished and providential care. That's proof that He cares about us. He wanted to redeem man from sin. That's proof that He cares about us. Even in the Old Testament, He cared about us. He loved us. He still does to this day. He gave up His only Son because that's how much He loves us. And for the Old Testament and salvation process. It's salvation process. If we look at that, the point that it's like itself. If we look at the point that the Old Testament is living in a strict household, the Old Testament is salvation process. Is basically God turn into adulthood and process. We got the adults, God putting you through tests and tests and tests. They are preparing you for adulthood while you're still a kid. Childhood, though, is great, but it's preparation for adulthood. The Old Testament was salvation in progress. Alright? Now, that's just my opinion. That's how I view things. Your view can be completely different. That's totally okay. I will not judge you. But I also want to tell you another thing. This first little part. The oath, this first 3 parts. This first 2 parts of the 3 in this whole paragraph. The Old Testament is not always an encouraging story. It tells of the rebellion of God's people. It shows open and willful sin in the face of a long-suffering God. God hates sin. And yet we know that it's bad. We know that God hates it, and we still do it. It's a spin to face. It's like saying, hey, I'm about to sin. I know that you hate it, and yet I'm still going to do it anyway. That's basically what it is. And now this is not judgment to be mean, all right? This is not judgment to be mean. And it also says that it's impossible for a human not to sin. It's normal to sin. You're eventually going to get there where you're going to sin. Sin is bad. Don't think that this is a license to sin. It is very, very bad, but it is normal. As soon as you are born, it is a guarantee to sin. You can never escape sin. You can escape temptation, but never sin. You can always escape temptation. Though it's hard, you can escape it. Sin, you're gonna sin at the very least once. All your life, it is almost guaranteed that you're gonna sin once. Almost guaranteed. It is guaranteed. So, that was just my thoughts on this. If you got different thoughts, totally okay. Remember, Jesus loves you. I'll see you guys in the next video.